On the 6th of April 1966, at approximately 11 o'clock in the morning, over 200 students and teachers at Westall High School in the suburb of Clayton, South Melbourne, Australia, watched a silver-grey disc descend from the sky, land briefly in a paddock behind the school, and then take off at extraordinary speed. Within hours, military personnel arrived. The landing site was examined, and every student and teacher who witnessed the event was told, in no uncertain terms, not to talk about it. Tonight I want you to tell me, when 200 children all describe the same thing, and the response is not curiosity but silence, what does that tell you? Comment below. It was a Wednesday morning. Students at Westall High School and the neighbouring Westall State School were outside, some in physical education classes, some on break. The weather was clear, visibility was good. Multiple witnesses described a silver or grey disc-shaped object roughly the size of 2 or 3 cars, descending over the pine trees at the Grange Reserve, adjacent to the school grounds. The object moved in a controlled manner. It was not falling, it was not drifting. It descended deliberately and landed or hovered just above the ground in an open paddock. Several students ran toward the object. Among the closest witnesses was a girl named Tanya, who reportedly got within a few meters of the craft before collapsing. She was later taken away by ambulance. Her identity has never been publicly confirmed, and what happened to her after that day remains unknown. The craft remained on or near the ground for several minutes before rising sharply and departing at high speed. Multiple witnesses described it being accompanied or chased by light aircraft, small planes that appeared to follow it as it ascended. The object outpaced them effortlessly. The response from authorities was immediate and heavy-handed. Within hours, men in uniforms, described variously as military or government officials, arrived at the school. An assembly was called. The headmaster, Frank Samblabe, told the students and staff that they had not seen what they thought they had seen, and that they were not to discuss the event with anyone, including their parents. Science teacher Andrew Greenwood, who had watched the event from the school grounds, was reportedly visited individually and warned not to speak about it. The landing site in the paddock showed physical traces. The grass in a circular area was flattened and, according to some witnesses, appeared burnt or discoloured. Within days, the site was reportedly visited by officials who removed soil samples. The area was subsequently cleared and the ground was altered. Witnesses, who returned to the site, found it had been modified in a way that obscured the evidence. The local newspaper, the Dandenong Journal, published a front-page story about the sighting. It was one of the few media reports. The story was not picked up by major Australian outlets, and no official investigation was ever made public. The Australian government has never acknowledged the incident. For decades, the witnesses stayed largely silent. Many followed the instruction they were given as children. They did not talk about it, but they did not forget. In 2006, 40 years after the event, filmmaker Shane Ryan began tracking down the original witnesses for a documentary. What he found was remarkable. Witness after witness, now in their 50s and 60s, described the same event in the same terms. The silver disc, the landing, the military response, the assembly where they were told to be silent. The accounts had not changed in 4 decades. Joy Clarke, who was a student at the time, described the object clearly and consistently in multiple interviews. She recalled the fear, the excitement, and the confusion of being told by adults that what she had just seen with her own eyes did not happen. Terry Peck, another former student, described watching the craft from the school oval and being struck by how controlled and deliberate its movements were. Jacqueline Argent recalled the sense of injustice, being a child, knowing what she saw, and being told by authority figures to deny her own experience. No former student has ever come forward to say the event was a hoax. No teacher has retracted their account. No official explanation has ever been offered by the Australian military or government. Over 200 witnesses, and in 60 years not a single one has broken ranks to say it did not happen. The Westall incident is significant not only for the number of witnesses, but for the nature of the suppression. This was not a classified military facility. This was a suburban school on a Wednesday morning. The witnesses were children. And the response was not investigation. It was containment. Someone decided within hours of the event that 200 children needed to be told to stay quiet. The question that has never been answered is who made that decision and why. Subscribe now and follow the evidence.